All right, back on NewsNation Now. It looks like tomorrow, Friday, might end up being a big day for getting aid into civilians in Gaza. I want to go to the maps now because, we've been talking about the Rafah crossing. So we'll highlight it down there, the Rafah crossing. In fact, while we're on the air yesterday, President Biden was talking to reporters on Air Force One saying Egypt had agreed to allow food, water, medicine in through Gaza through this crossing. And we see roads near the crossing that were created by airstrikes that are now being repaired. So they're going to supposedly allow 20 trucks carrying aid into the civilians to get in. This should start tomorrow. World Health Organization said the hope is at some point be getting like 100 trucks per day. And the president said the problem is if Hamas gets involved, the aid could stop if there's some sort of an interference. Now, you look at it here where Rafah is, and it's, of course, on the southern end of Gaza, which has seen more than 500,000 people enter that area since Israel ordered the evacuation from the northern part of Gaza. And the aid agreement came just one day after that hospital explosion that we've covered so much in Gaza. It's been the focus of so much attention in recent days. So that's kind of the part of the world we're looking at. And we're going to focus on that Rafah crossing to see if this happens tomorrow. Now, on the ground in Israel, 8 organizations preparing for a long recovery for victims of the Hamas attacks on the 7th of October. And to get to that part of the story now from Jerusalem, Rhoda Smolow joins us, national president of Hadassah. 8 organization operates Israel's largest trauma center. It's good to see you. And, we've been saying that, civilians of any kind or been reporting on civilian aid of any kind being important. That's why we just talked about Rafah. But your story is interesting as well. I know you, if I understand this right, you were on your way over to Israel. You were, I believe, it's supposed to accept some sort of an award. All of this happens, but now because of the organization that you're with, you're involved in trying to help people, right? Tell us what you've been up to.
Thank you. I'd be delighted to. So I was on the way last week, the day of the strike, to go to Jerusalem on an airplane because I was one of the 50 most important Jewish people for 2023 from the Jerusalem Post. And there was supposed to be a gala on that Monday night. Little known to us on the plane as we were flying to Israel, war broke out from Gaza. And so I was there. My flights returned home were canceled. I went right to the hospital and I spent that second day during the war, comforting and visiting the patients that were brought to our trauma center, meeting soldiers as well as victims from the rock concert and other civilians that were injured in their kibbutzim and their moshavs and their towns. And it was a very emotional, very really heartbreaking situation that I didn't expect to be in. I was able to get home 2 days later. And now I was invited back as the president of Hadassah, which is the largest Jewish women's organization in the United States and around the world. In the United States, we have 300,000 members. I was invited by the Conference of Presidents of Major American Jewish Organizations, which was creating a 2-day mission called Unity in Crisis, Emergency Leadership Mission for Israel. And it was bringing together 50 leaders from all different organizations that support the state of Israel in many different ways, in very important financial and physical ways. And we flew over, I think it was just yesterday, and we have had a huge schedule in the last 24 hours, visiting many government officials, meeting with the families of hostages who are now in Gaza,
right.
meeting many different people involved in this situation.
I'm sure you'll have even more work, unfortunately, to do, and it's such necessary work, especially if there's, a ground operation in Gaza and this war escalates, as the reports indicate. I want to clear one thing about Hadassah because, as you say, it's this large nonprofit organization that does so much terrific work. There was a headline the other day that says, well, Hadassah is making this announcement they're not going to treat Hamas terrorists that are wounded. But what if it's a civilian situation? You said you're helping all civilians. Is that what you were saying, no matter what?
So in 2005, Hadassah was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. We have doctors and nurses that are both Christian, Arabs, and Jews working together in the hospital, treating patients of all religions and all nationalities. The truth is, most and all of the patients who are the Hamas terrorists are being treated within the medical facilities of the military.
Right.
They have not been brought to our hospital. We would never turn away a citizen. That would be something that goes against our humanitarian beliefs. But we have not, and I do not believe that any of the other nonprofit or profit hospitals in Israel have been asked to treat the terrorists as of now, as of this moment. So we are not faced with that dilemma or that decision.
Makes
on
sense,
that.
but you're helping so many different civilians, no matter who they are, and of course, so many in Israel that were impacted by these terrorist attacks on the 7th of October. Rhoda, your organization does great work, but you personally, look at that, you're on your way there, as you say, for that award, and now you end up helping so many people as well. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.